Hello and a very warm welcome to our coverage of Liberia against Sierra Leone as we kick off the qualifying process for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The nations in Africa ranked between 27 and 54 are involved in a two-legged playoff in order to go through the second round of qualifying, where they'll go into groups of four, joining the top 26 ranked CAF teams. Sierra Leone making their international comeback, having been banned by FIFA for a year after perceived government interference in the running of the national federation. And they have a trip to their neighbours Liberia for this first-legged tie. There's a good crowd in at the stadium this evening in Monrovia. The stadium announcer has just said that the Liberian home supporters are being outsung by the visitors from Sierra Leone, something that he doesn't find normal at all. Well, both of these nations have new coaches. In Sierra Leone's case, it is a returning coach, as Salas Tete, the Ghanaian, is in his second spell in charge. The Liberian coach, Peter Butler, the Englishman, who used to play for West Ham United, also applied for the Sierra Leone job. He got the Liberian job, and his task is to try to get them through this FIFA World Cup qualifying process and also head towards a potential Africa Cup of Nations place. Neither Liberia nor Sierra Leone have ever qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals. Liberia's national president is also their most famous footballer, George Weah. His son Timothy actually plays international football for the United States. Very soon we'll have the arrival of the teams and the national anthems. A good visiting contingent from Sierra Leone in the stands. The return leg of this tie to be played in 4 days' time. The onus on Liberia to get a good result at home here, and they have been bolstered with Seth Hellberg called up by Peter Butler, the Swedish-born player who plays for Braga as a midfielder. There are a lot of foreign-based footballers representing both nations here this evening. Liberia's last line of defence is a teenage goalkeeper, the 18-year-old Ashley Williams, who local fans likened to Manuel Neuer because he likes using his feet, doing that sweeper keeping. The two sets of players in the tunnel. The tension mounting ahead of Liberia against Sierra Leone. The Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex is filling up as we approach kick-off. That in about 8 minutes' time. It is a long and difficult qualifying process for these two nations. Sierra Leone ranked just outside the top 26 on the continent. Liberia down in 45th. The nations were seeded ahead of the qualifying draw, and those seedings were based on the July 29 edition of the FIFA World Rankings. Peter Butler, the new boss of Liberia, he named a preliminary 33-man squad for this game. The 52-year-old Englishman, a mixture of local and foreign-based players. He's got the former Arsenal striker Christopher Ray as his assistant. There is optimism in the stands here that Liberia can take advantage of Sierra Leone's international exile over the last 12 months and turn them over here to have something to take to Sierra Leone for the second leg on September the 8th. Both of these nations have only qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations twice. They've never qualified for the World Cup. This is where it starts in terms of trying to get to Qatar for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The match officials preparing to lead out the two sets of players ahead of the national anthems. These two nations have met 16 times in all. The most common results, 1-0 and 1-1. And the smart money is on another tight fixture this evening. There is a lot of potential, both in Liberian and Sierra Leonean football. They need to try and show it on the larger stage now. These nations without a big history on the continent can take inspiration from the likes of Madagascar, who had such a great Africa Cup of Nations this year. Liberia against Sierra Leone, the first leg of the two-legged playoff at the start of the qualifying process for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The first leg here at the Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex in Monrovia. The second leg to be played in Sierra Leone in 4 days' time. The winners of these 14 two-legged ties going on over the next few days will head into groups of 4. There will be 10 groups of 4, and then there'll be 5 home and away ties. The winners of each tie, of those 10 nations who top the groups, will advance to the 2022 FIFA World Cup. So a long way to go. First things first, Liberia and Sierra Leone trying to get a result tonight to put them in good stead ahead of the second leg on September the 8th. Both these nations under new management. Peter Butler, the Englishman in charge of Liberia. He's done much coaching in Asia and Africa since the end of a playing career that saw him feature notably for the likes of Cambridge United and West Ham United. Sierra Leone are coached for the second time by Celeste Tete, the Ghanaian. He saw off opposition from 4 other foreign coaches for the job, including Peter Butler. The Liberian players looking focused, looking determined ahead of the national anthems. Sierra Leone all in blue, and we will start with their anthem. Liberia have the upper hand in the meetings of these two nations. They have played each other 16 times, 8 Liberian wins, 3 Sierra Leone wins and 5 draws. Let's have a look at the Liberian team. The Swedish-born Seth Hellberg, called up by Peter Butler for this tie and straight into the team. Sierra Leone, well, they have a lot of experienced players in their ranks. Kay Kamara is 35 years old. They have a number of other players the wrong side of 30, and this is very much a last chance for that generation if they want to play at a World Cup. The two captains will come together for the coin toss after Sierra Leone have their traditional pre-match photo. Sam Johnson is the Liberian captain. Umara Bangura captains Sierra Leone. You can see that the pitch here at the Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex has some bare patches in places, and that won't make slick passing football easy. Our referee and the officials are from Benin. Bangura on the right of shot, Sam Johnson on the left. The two number 17s captaining their respective nations. We're short of the 35,000 capacity here, but there is a very good crowd in attendance for this battle between two neighbouring countries. The preliminaries are almost over and kick-off is nigh. Past meetings of these two countries have been tight. Only 2 of the games have produced 3 goals or more out of the 16 meetings. The international history between these countries started in November 1966 in a match that finished 1-1. 1-1 would definitely suit the visitors Sierra Leone this evening. Alan Ng there, G'ing up his teammates, including the captain Sam Johnson, prior to kick-off. Peter Butler, the new man in charge, the Englishman, the 52-year-old. A lot of coaching experience in Asia and Africa. He's been appointed on a 1-year deal. Mustafa Dumbuya there in shot of Sierra Leone. Liberia it is who get this FIFA World Cup 2022 qualifier underway. Liberia in their striped shirts, reflecting the national flag. Sierra Leone all in blue, and immediately Karoma with an awkward up and under half clearance, and it's off the post. Well, Sherman so close to giving Liberia the lead after 20 seconds. Poor defending from Sierra Leone, and Sherman was sharp. He nearly pounced there, the 27-year-old forward. What a thrilling start to this qualifier. Kapar Sherman, after that awkward up and under by Karoma. Well played by Johnson, guiding it back in, and wasn't he strong there, Sherman, to hold off Bangura. Morris, the goalkeeper, knew nothing about it as it rattled off the upright. McConnell That not giving Sherman a chance. He looks mobile. He looks very sharp, does Kipar Sherman. Plays in the Malaysian Super League for PKNS FC. He's been involved in the Liberian national setup since 2014. Solomon Morris. Liberia trying to build through midfield, but not able to string the passes together. The throw will go Liberia's way. Bundu chased it down. Joel Johnson with the throw. Now Taya Dennis Jr. to McCornell. As Sierra Leone stand off the Liberian centre-halves. They're not afraid to use the long ball, particularly McCornell. Sierra Leone defending from their 18-yard box and miscontrolling frequently. That one Karoma got away with as there was a foul by Kipar Sherman. Celestete will want his side to settle down here. Bangura. Possession given away by both nations. Comes wide for Kwame. Kwame's cross too close to the goalkeeper. And that's good for Ashley Williams, the 18-year-old, to get an early feel of the ball. Sierra Leone making their international comeback today, having been banned for a year for government interference in the National Association. McCornell. Ng gives it away. A chance to drive forward for Sierra Leone. And again, the passing not crisp enough on this awkward playing surface. Given away to Kwame. Neither side managing to retain possession for long. It's a match, you sense, that could be decided by mistakes. Cisse. Dumbuya. The captain, Bangura. McCornell running towards his own goal. And the whistle goes against K. Camara. K. Camara, 35 years old now. Might remember him from his time with Norwich City or Middlesbrough. He's played a lot in North America and is currently at the Colorado Rapids. Ball getting stuck in between Johnson, Sam Johnson that is, and his opponent. McConnell jumping over the top of his forward, Camara, but no whistle from the referee from Benin. Flicked on by Camara. Back to the keeper by Dennis. Fresh-faced Ashley Williams, only 18 years old. He's a real favourite of Christopher Ray, who was the Liberia under-20s head coach, the former Arsenal forward, now assistant coach to Peter Butler. Karoma. McCornell. Dennis. Poor pass by Dennis, seized upon by Kwame. Camera looked like he was fouled there. No whistle, and the ball has been kept in play. The ball not running smoothly at all. The Liberian crowd excited to get a look at Seth Hellberg, the number 20, the Swedish-born player called up for the first time for this double-header. Ng given away to Kwame. Suivez. Cut out by Dennis. Nodded in field to Hellberg. Hellberg showing good touch even on this playing surface with the long grass and the ball not running truly. It's one to chase for Tisdale. He can't keep it in. Crowd continuing to build as we approach the 10-minute mark. If you have joined us late, Liberia hit the post after just 20 seconds through Kapar Sherman after a defensive mix-up. No chances for either side since then. Sierra Leone, having survived the early scare, building themselves into the game. And the free kick for the foul on Bundu. Dumbuya. Oh, and there are some unmarked players up there, including John Camara, the number 6. Sierra Leone will feel they could have made more of that. The Liberian defending was not tight from that set piece. Hellberg was taken late, but play continues with a cross by Tisdale. Tisdale again. Few challenges going in after the whistle, and the first yellow card is going to be brandished by the referee from Benin. Abu Dumbuya into the book. Raised boot there. Crashed into Oscar Dawley. Sierra Leone still have a player down, so there's a hold up in play. Liberia will fancy this free kick position. An opportunity to go directly for goal. And test out Solomon Morris. It's the Lone Stars against the Leone Stars. Liberia against Sierra Leone. The captain Bangura back to his feet. Setting the ball down is Terence Tisdale. Terence Tisdale plays his club football in South Africa for Baroka. Morris setting his wall. Attacking players aren't allowed to infiltrate the wall anymore as of this season. It is Tisdale, a curling left footer that Morris gets in behind. Never looked like beating the goalkeeper, but it was on target. First effort on target of the game. Sierra Leone free kick in midfield for the foul by NG. The Liberian marking wasn't good from the previous set piece. It's Hassan Cisse, and that's easily headed away by Liberia. They're on the breakout here. It's a lone breakout from the captain, Johnson. Cisse has to use his weaker right foot. And there's a foul by Hellberg. Seth Hellberg, the 24-year-old. Camera. And G, nicely played by him. Liberia advancing down the right, but Dawley gave it away, and this will be an offside flag against Bundu. McCornell. Sliced into touch by Karoma. Oh, and he goes down to Sherman, and the referee points to the spot. From the throw, Sherman twisting his man. Sierra Leone are furious with the penalty award. They felt that Sherman went down very easily there. Karoma disbelieving. Sherman looked like he was backing in and looking for the contact, and I can understand why Karoma's so upset. For me, that's no penalty. Sherman deemed to have been fouled by Karoma, and it's Tisdale who will take on Morris from the penalty spot. Liberia with the chance to move ahead in this tie. The first match on the road to Qatar for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Morris jumping up and down on his line. Tisdale sends him the wrong way. Liberia 1, Sierra Leone 0. A very confident penalty by Terence Tisdale, but one that I don't think should have been awarded, as Sherman was deemed to have been fouled by Karoma. Delight for the vast majority of the supporters inside the Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex in Monrovia, as the home team have taken the lead. He waited for Morris to commit himself and then put it in the other corner. That's a lovely penalty. Peter Butler, the coach, will be delighted with that. His team have been the better side in the first 20 minutes. They hit the post in the first 20 seconds. Johnson. Sierra Leone will need to challenge the anger. They're feeling hard done by for that spot kick. Williams. Great leap by Sherman. Liberia have produced some fabulous footballers down the years, George Weah most notably, also James Deba. Williams. Hellberg. Kuyate. Tisdale. Away by Karoma. Camera. Great turn from the veteran. Sets Kwame a challenge. Oh, Kwame's kicked out there at McConnell. Right in front of the assistant referee after the whistle had gone, and he could be in big trouble. It's just yellow for Kwame. I think he can count himself lucky for that. Had no need to lash out at Alan McConnell. He'll claim he was trying to kick the ball back. There's excessive force in that. Hellberg saying to Kwame, "What were you doing?" McConnell being stretchered off. Kwame who kicked out there, plays his club football in Iceland. The free kick that had been awarded to Sierra Leone stands and will be taken by Doumbouya, who we have already seen in this game has good delivery from set pieces. Doumbouya goes long for Camara, headed goalwards and over the bar. That was by John Camara. John Camara, the 25-year-old, who plays for the Azerbaijani club Kesla. Doumbouya, Camara, and G has dropped into the back line while McConnell gets some treatment. Kwame, no elevation on his cross, and knocked away by Dennis Jr. Down the line for Camara, who stands on the ball. And G. Karoma sidesteps the challenge. Bangura. Two Sierra Leone players chasing after this, including Kwame, who mishits it. That was a chance. He had two options there, either putting his foot through it and going directly for goal, or teeing up K Camara. It was a half-hearted finish by Kwame. Flicked on by Camara. Good ball. Oh, and he's rounding the keeper here as Sherman, but just runs it out of play. Well, he has the beating of the Sierra Leone centre-halves for pace. He's putting himself about to very good effect, the man who won the penalty and hit the post in the first minute. Blitz past Karoma, just that touch taking him too far wide. Doumbouya. Down the line by Doumbouya and shepherded out of play by McConnell, who is back onto the field. Long from Williams. Sherman wins the header. Or did it flick off the Sierra Leone player? It is going to be a Liberian throw. 1-0 to Peter Butler's side. The goal scored from the penalty spot by Tisdall. Camera is fouled. Williams right to the edge of his penalty area. Sierra Leone haven't been able to find the ball in behind as successfully as Liberia have done. Kwame. Dennis Jr. with time to take it down on his chest. Oh, he's put under pressure by Camera and almost sells the goalkeeper short. Williams coming to the rescue of his centre half. That was a heart-in-mouth moment for Teo Dennis Jr. Joel Johnson advancing down the right and earning the throw. Joel Johnson plays for Charlotte Independence. Sherman. Away by Karoma. A free kick given Liberia's way. Amadou Bangura and his teammates very unhappy with the decisions of the referee from Benin, especially for the penalty. That was a handball. Solomon Morris has put 4 in the wall. Doesn't have a save to make. Tisdall tried the curler, couldn't bring it down in time. The left footer is Liberia's go-to man when it comes to set plays. Tisdall. Karoma backed off him. Dumbuya with the forceful challenge, and it will be a Liberian throw. That ball might have gone a bit flat. It was tested by Peter Butler. Tisdall, can he get it out of his feet for the shot? It's a Sierra Leone ball. Danger from a throw again, as Kapar Sherman used his strength. Tisdall felt that should have been a corner. Camera. Headed out by Mustafa Dumbuya there. Just past the half hour, Liberia leading in the first leg against Sierra Leone by Terence Tisdall's goal from the penalty spot to 0. Sierra Leone trying to switch play. Here's Dawley. He passes it on to Johnson. Karoma. Back to the keeper, Morris. McConnell. Hellberg. Nice looking ball for Sherman. Sherman so quick. Chance. Good save by Morris. Another Sierra Leonean handball. Good hit that was by Sherman, who is a real live wire. A touch to control and then getting the strike away. If there's one criticism of him, is that he could have gone wider of the keeper. For Tisdall to have another go from a set piece, probably. No, he leaves this one for NG. I reckon Tisdall will take the next one. Karoma. They look for K Camera at every opportunity, do Sierra Leone. But that previous chance that I attributed to Sherman was actually Sam Johnson, the captain, cutting in from the right-hand side. Out of play rather, by Kuyate. That's a foul by Tisdall. Doumbia takes it short. In it comes. Oh, just needed someone to connect with that. Several players flying towards the ball, and none of them could do so. Close to it was John Camara. Decent ball in by Bundu. Bundu. Doumbia won't keep that in. He worked very hard to give himself a chance. We haven't seen a lot of Musa Camara, the Sierra Leone number 19. Bundu. K Camara. John Camara. Kwame wanted it short again. The precision not quite there from Sierra Leone. Celestete will be pleased enough with the effort levels of his players. The long ball looking for Sherman. It is the pace of the likes of Sherman and Johnson that has really troubled the Sierra Leone rearguard. Hellberg. Hellberg played it into John Camara. Sherman. Good trick from Tisdale. Tisdale still going. What a dribble that was. The cross by Kouyaté. Dawley for Tisdale again. Tries another dribble. And well defended by Bundu. Bundu looked like he was caught after the ball had gone, but the ball had already gone out of play. The trickery of Tisdale. Too much for Doumbia. Kouyaté. And G hits it first time. And Morris has to make a save. Bangura caught in possession. There's a 3-on-2, but they miscontrol it. Oh, Liberia were in there after catching Umaru Bangura in possession. They did not make the most of it. Good tussle in midfield. Camera emerging with it. Doumbia. Time to look up. Two at the back post. They got in each other's way. Kwame was better positioned coming in on it. Oscar Dawley. This game opening out now. Allen and G. Karoma. Stooping header by Dennis. And Sierra Leone have a throw right by the corner flag. Doumbia. Here's the other Doumbia. Abu, good dribbling, elected to go for a shot. Trying to catch out young Ashley Williams at the near post. Dawley. And G to Dawley again. Liberia playing their way out of defence with Joel Johnson. Has Sam Johnson in front of him. Sherman as well. Looks for Sherman. And G. Hellberg to Johnson. Oh, looking for Sam Johnson. The home captain has made some very good runs. Plays for Real Salt Lake in the United States, does Sam Johnson. It's a good goal-scoring record for them. And G, harried by K Camera. Johnson. Cisse. Karoma to Bangura. Karoma. The big boot of Ashley Williams. Flicked on by Sherman for Sam Johnson. Johnson into the box. Continues to be the case that Sam Johnson and Qatar Sherman look capable of making the difference at any given moment to extend the Liberian advantage, which remains at a slender goal. I did mention earlier in commentary that these games tend to be low-scoring affairs. Only 3 of 16 meetings have seen 3 or more goals. Camera muscled off the ball, but illegally by Ng. Pumped towards the penalty area. There's Camera winning the header. Camera looking to the assistant. Camera has been the most determined of all of the Sierra Leone players. Didn't score much in his time in England, either at Norwich or at Middlesbrough. Far more prolific in North America. And G, as we approach half-time, here's Joel Johnson. Kwame harrying him, and G lets it run, which is a dangerous thing to do on this surface. Sherman gets the free kick, fouled by Karoma. Have had 1 or 2 injury hold-ups in the first half, so there will be a little bit of time added on by the referee from Benin. Single minute has been indicated by the 4th official. It's a Liberia free kick, overly physical from Musa Camara. Liberia looking for another just before half-time. Johnson, Sherman goes down, no penalty this time. Kwame does get his free kick. The half-time whistle sounds. Liberia 1, Sierra Leone 0. Terence Tisdall with the only goal of the game from the penalty spot after Karoma's foul on Sherman. Liberia had hit the post in the first 20 seconds through Sherman. They lead by a goal to 0. Ashley Williams in the Liberian goal, not really threatened by Sierra Leone. Liberia know that there is scope to add to their 1-goal advantage to take to Sierra Leone for the second leg on September the 8th. I reckon they'll need at least 1 more to feel more confident about the second leg. Sierra Leone just needing a bit more precision. They look to have an aerial advantage over Liberia. They need better crossing. Liberia will fancy that the mobility of Sherman and Johnson will continue to create chances for them. Peter Butler's Liberia leading Celes Tete's Sierra Leone 1-0 at half-time in Monrovia. Welcome back to our coverage of Liberia against Sierra Leone. The first leg of this two-legged playoff between Liberia and Sierra Leone to move to the next stage of qualifying for the 22 FIFA World Cup. The winners of 14 two-legged matches will join the 26 top-ranked teams in CAF and go into 10 groups of 4. Then the 10 group winners will go into playoffs, with the 5 winners going to the 22 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Looks as though Sierra Leone are preparing a half-time substitution here. Liberia leading 1-0 at the interval thanks to Terence Tisdall's 18th minute penalty, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way after Sherman had been fouled by Karoma, a contentious penalty award. Seth Hellberg has been neat, the Swedish-born Liberian international. Sierra Leone it is who will kick off the second half. Sierra Leone will be trying to find a way past that man, Ashley Williams. Sierra Leone in their all-blue strip kick off the second half in Monrovia, trailing by a 1-0 to their neighbours Liberia. Terence Tisdall from the penalty spot in the 18th minute after Karoma's foul on Sherman. Touched on by Bundu. Back to the goalkeeper Williams by Dennis Jr. Confident from Williams, playing it out from the back. I did say that locally he's nicknamed Neuer because he's so proficient with his feet, like the great German goalkeeper. Ng. Good ball into Hellberg. 2 in the box, Hellberg overrunning it, and bounces the goalkeeper's way, Solomon Morris, as Sam Johnson was bearing down on him. It was that touch there that was a poor one from Hellberg. Bundu, looked like the use of a shoulder from Joel Johnson to me. The referee didn't spot anything untoward. Joel Johnson dribbling past camera. Dawley. Sherman leaves the ball for Hellberg. Sherman. Sierra Leone, did they prevent the corner? It doesn't look like it. The captain, Bangura, is arguing that it hadn't crossed the line in full. Corner to be taken by Tisdall, the scorer of the only goal. Deep cross. Dennis Jr. gave up the chase, quite happy to settle for a throw. Kuyate. Johnson and Sherman wait in the middle. The ball never came. And G. Time for camera. Bundu. Not a good first touch. Bundu managed to get it back. Kwame. Foul on Kwame. Referee wanting a word with Terence Tisdall. Pushing and shoving on the edge of the box. Referee says cut it out. He's looking at McCornell and the visiting captain Bangura. Dumbuya to take. In from Dumbuya. Oh, good cross. Oh, must be finished off and isn't. That's Sierra Leone's best opportunity. Camera arriving, just needed to make any sort of contact. All match, Dumbuya's set pieces have been threatening. Nicely flicked on at the front post. Camera couldn't decide whether to go for it with his head or with his feet. Liberia survive. McCornell. Dumbuya. Oh, it might drop for Bundu, but Ashley Williams is off his line. Bangura. Hellberg. Hellberg fouled right by the halfway line. It has been a physical match. A lot of commitment from both sides. And a short turnaround between the two legs. Hellberg didn't like that challenge from John Camara. Dumbuya. Kwame. Strong from Ng. Now Johnson. Even the quick Sherman can't keep that in. Ng holds off his man. Kuyate earns the throw. Kuyate. Offside. The flag raised against Musa Camara. Good flick on towards Johnson. Johnson! And the goalkeeper recovers. It was going wide. He's so quick off the mark is Sam Johnson. Flicked on by Sherman. Johnson winning the chase to the ball. Had he got that on target, it might well have been Liberia's second. On the basis of the first 55 minutes, it should be that Johnson and Sherman are the difference between these two sides over the two legs. Looking for Sherman, long, but it's Karoma under no pressure, winning the header. Camara. Bundu not really chasing after this one. Joel Johnson. Kwame there before Kouyaté. Kwame rounding Kouyaté. Joel Johnson. Cisse down the line. And out of play from Johnson. Hassan Cisse winding up for the long throw. Cisse. A lot of distance. Chance here, must be 1-1. It is 1-1. And it is Kwame with the equaliser. Sierra Leone's first international goal since returning from their year-long ban has been scored by Kwame. The sizable travelling contingent celebrate. Liberia 1, Sierra Leone 1. Ashley Williams concedes. And the Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex is stunned, at least the home contingent. They've been dangerous from set pieces all match long. The long throw from Cisse not dealt with by Liberia. Doesn't matter what part of the body it came off, it landed nicely for Kwame, who had too much time and space and couldn't miss from that range. That totally changes the complexion of this tie. Liberia will certainly have to score another this evening to take a lead to Sierra Leone for the second leg. Liberia would have known the long throw was coming, but they did not cope with it. Down the line by Kouyaté. Peter Butler's side will have to lift themselves again. That equaliser coming just after they nearly went 2-0 ahead through Sam Johnson. Dumbuya. Down the line by Kouyaté. Bobbling. Tisdall plays it forward. There's Camara. It's off Tisdall. And Camara draws the foul from Tisdall. And G. The offside flag up against the scorer of the equaliser, Kwame. Dawley to McConnell. Can't attach any blame to Ashley Williams. He wasn't protected by his defence for that equalising goal. Another long throw by Cisse, and an accurate one again. They have another throw, and this is Cisse territory. Can Liberia deal with this one better? Kwame again lurking on the far side of the area. There's a large runoff area in this multi-purpose stadium, which helps Cisse in towards the penalty spot again, flicked on, and Williams catches. Tisdale for Sherman. The pitch acted against Sherman there. Ball towards him was slightly overhit in any case. That bobble there gave him no chance. He had chased it down. These West African neighbours locked together at 1-1. 5 draws out of their previous 16 meetings. The very first meeting in 1966 was 1-1. That's the way it stands now, with half an hour remaining. Use of the arm by Camara, Camara that is, and now it's Dawley. Kouyaté. Hellberg battling with John Camara, and that's gone down as obstruction against John Camara. Sweat-soaked shirts of the players. And G, Kouyaté and Sam Johnson among those waiting in the middle for the ball to be delivered. The signal from Hellberg. Hellberg overhits it, that's horrible. He will not be thanked for that by his defenders, who had made the long trek up there. Ballooned it. Camera's flick on, the flag's up again. It's against Musa Camara. McConnell. Hellberg, it's off John Camara. Offside, Bundu. Foul, Sherman on Karoma. Sherman got the decision in the battle between those two for the penalty in the first half. Not this time. The flick on by Johnson. Not a huge amount of contact between the forward and the centre half, but enough for the referee to blow his whistle. And G. A raised boot by Sam Johnson. The referee says play on. Dennis Williams dribbles it outside of his box and now launches one forward. And Sherman does get this decision. He's in the mood to take it quickly, gets in a tangle with Camara. You see the urgency of Sherman there, underlining the fact that Liberia feel they need to win this game on home soil. That's neatly played by Sierra Leone. He's increasing in confidence, is Williams, in terms of coming off his line. And G checks over his shoulder. Dawley. Johnson. Sam Johnson. Hellberg. That wasn't the right option. Tisdall had peeled left. Sherman was down the middle. Tricky couple of minutes for Seth Hellberg, of whom great things are expected. Kwame, scorer of the equaliser. Challenged by Ng, overcomes McConnell. He's been given Sierra Leone's way. At least it appeared it had been given Sierra Leone's way by the assistant. The referee correctly, in my view, having that one down as a Liberia free kick. Kwame kicked out on the floor. McConnell was wise to the trick. That's a clean challenge by Ng. Dumbuya. There's some interesting running battles that will carry over into the second leg in Sierra Leone. Oh, that looked like an elbow towards the face from Alan and G. No wonder Kay Camera is aggrieved. Williams. Do Liberia have the wherewithal to break down Sierra Leone again? They're snatching these shots from around the box, not picking the right option in the final third. They've got some defending to do now. It's Kwame, and there's the block by Dennis. An important block. The first Liberian change. Coming on is Tonya Tisdale, replacing Terence Tisdale, the scorer of the Liberian goal. Tonya Tisdale, the 27-year-old, now playing in Famagusta. He's been a Liberian international since 2008, but is still only 27. Flick by Camera. Kwame. The flag is up. Camera, and the catch by Williams. Tisdale. Dawley. Good ball. Sam Johnson. That's very good defending from Sierra Leone, from Bangura, the captain, as the two skippers came together. Sierra Leone did not have a great defensive line there, and Sam Johnson initially had space. The first touch wasn't a bad one, but Bangura had read play and covered round. Liberia into the box again. The referee deciding the challenge was outside the area on Sherman. Sierra Leone didn't even think it was a foul. Well, where was the contact? It's right on the edge of the box. Once they heard the whistle, the Sierra Leone players would have been fearing that that would have been a second penalty award. Appears as if we had a drone somewhere in the stadium there. Johnson. Oh, what a free kick. It bounces off the underside of the bar, but the referee decides it hasn't crossed the line. Johnson. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing a replay of that free kick as Bundu is fouled there. They hit the woodwork in the first 20 seconds, and they have done again now. The underside of the crossbar from the captain, Sam Johnson. But did it bounce over the line? A second change. Mo Sangare is coming on for Liberia. The Newcastle United player, now 20 years old. The midfielder replaces Seth Helberg. Mo Sangare has played for the under-23 team at Newcastle. Tisdale. The stadium still buzzing after Sam Johnson rattled the crossbar. And G. Sherman has too much pace for Karoma. And there's the captain Bangura helping out his fellow defender. The out-swinging corner. Under it is McConnell. Lofted by Joel Johnson. Now he does use his keeper, Williams. Cisse. Bundu. McConnell. That decision goes against Sherman. Bangura says about time. Morris. Overhit by Kwame. There's no doubt that Celestete, Sierra Leone's Ghanaian coach, will be happier than the Englishman Peter Butler at the 1-1 scoreline. Sherman. And G. Kouyaté to Sherman. Liberia do look to have the makings of a very good team. Sierra Leone are well organised, they have some talent too. Here's Sangare, the Newcastle player. He'll be hoping to leave his impression on the English Premier League. Leaving his impression on Sangare was K. Camara. And G down on the edge of the area, no whistle this time. Dawley favours his left foot. Joel Johnson. Tisdall. Clever pass by Tisdall. Oh, and Sam Johnson's gone down, and this is another penalty. It had to be. That was a superb pass into Sam Johnson's run, and the captain was fouled. The stadium erupts. The scorer of the first half penalty, Terence Tisdall, has been substituted. So who will take this one? The foul by Cisse as Sam Johnson got the wrong side of him. Mo Sangare has the ball in his hands. This is confident from the substitute. Here comes a Sierra Leone change. On is coming Mohamed Touray for Musa Camara, who has been fairly anonymous. Sangare against Morris. Tisdall sent Morris the wrong way in the first half. Sangare does the same in the second. Stroking it home, side-footing it. Tisdall couldn't watch, but he'll have heard the crowd, and he'll know that Liberia are back in front thanks to Mohamed Sangare. Liberia 2, Sierra Leone 1. 2 penalties for Peter Butler's team. It delights George Weah, the former World Player of the Year and now Liberian president. Such composure from the 20-year-old. I wonder if Steve Bruce is watching, the Newcastle United manager. Sherman. Morris is well outside his box and had to time that sliding challenge. Into the area again. Liberia would love a 2-goal lead to take with them. Sangare. Goes long, flicked on by Johnson for Sherman. Doesn't catch the shot right. I really like them as a front pairing though, Sherman and Johnson. And there's a pitch invader lifting up Mo Sangare, the scorer of Liberia's second from the spot. The stewards are quickly on the scene. And that pitch invader is going to be dealt with. George Weah finds it amusing. His son Timothy will be in the Champions League in Europe this season with Lille, having joined them from Paris Saint-Germain, George Weah's former club. Joel Johnson. And G. Sam Johnson will compete for this. The punch by Morris. Foul by Johnson on Bangura. Not the first time that Sierra Leone have played themselves into trouble with defensive up and unders. Cisse, and there is the goalkeeper Williams. 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Liberia 2, Sierra Leone. This is a cracking tie. World rankings of these two nations when the draw was made based on July's FIFA rankings. 114th for Sierra Leone, 152nd for Liberia. Both nations have a lot more talent than some higher ranked African nations in my view. And here's Johnson walking in the third. Sam Johnson slams it into the back of the net, and Liberia are 2 goals clear. Delirious scenes in the Samuel Canyon Doe Sports Complex thanks to 2 late goals. George Weah leads the celebrations. Sam Johnson has deserved a goal for the way he's played throughout. He hit the crossbar with a free kick, and that could be decisive in terms of this two-legged tie. Two goals in the last 10 minutes for Liberia. They're in a much more comfortable position now. It's poor defending from Doumbia. He and the goalkeeper involved in that mix-up. Doumbia had to play it. Sam Johnson could not believe his luck. I'm sure he'll have been booked for taking off his shirt in the celebrations. What a dream finish to this encounter for Peter Butler's Liberia. Nji. Sangare, the scorer of the second penalty. He's fouled by Doumbia. Another Sierra Leone change. Mustafa Bunezi to come on. Mustafa Bundu, I should say. Into stoppage time. There'll be 3 minutes of it. We're deep into the first minute of the allotted 3. And the bulk of this crowd are going to go home very happy at 1-1 after Kwame's equaliser. The mood was very different, but those late goals from Sangare and Johnson, the captain, have put Liberia in a great position ahead of the second leg in 4 days. More pitch invaders. This is getting silly now. A celebration of Liberian football tonight. A 2-goal lead in this tie. Joel Johnson. Kuyate with the throw. Nice turn by Tisdale. Overall, Liberia have been the better team. They hit the woodwork twice on top of their 3 goals. They might even get a 4th here. It's Johnson, but he's offside. And this must be just about that in terms of the play here. The final whistle approaching. The referee from Benin looks at his watch. More defending to do for Joel Johnson. Will there be time for one more Cisse long throw? That's what Sierra Leone want. In fact, they've taken it short. Joel Johnson and G. We're well past the 3 minutes now. Another look at the watch. And Liberia make their last change. Christopher Jackson to come on. Deep in stoppage time. Christopher Jackson to enter the fray. I think the fourth official had the wrong number. He flashed up the number 5, but there is no number 5 on the pitch for Sierra Leone. And it is the number 9, Carl Sherman, to go off. He won the first half penalty that Tisdall scored. Christopher Jackson, who plays for Shakhtar, is on. Sierra Leone trying to get a goal back ahead of the second leg. Another long throw then, Mustafa Doumbouya. The final whistle blows. Liberia 3, Sierra Leone 1. 2 Liberian goals in the last 10 minutes, giving Peter Butler's a 2-goal side, a 2-goal advantage to take to Sierra Leone in 4 days' time. Tisdall gave Liberia the lead with a penalty in the first half. Kwame equalised 10 minutes into the second half, and then Sangare from the spot, and Sam Johnson, the captain, with the other Liberian goals. 3-1 the final score in Monrovia. Solomon Morris beaten 3 times. There was a defensive mix-up for the last goal. Sam Johnson won a penalty and then scored the 3rd goal. And there's a big pitch invasion now, a gleeful pitch invasion. They're delighted having seen the Lone Stars beat the Leone Stars by 3 goals to 1. Well, it's all set up for an enthralling second leg in 4 days to see who goes through to the group stage with the top 26 African-ranked nations. That was a very entertaining game with 2 quality sides, and let's hope for similar entertainment in the second leg on September the 8th. Liberia 3, Sierra Leone 1, the final score.